to the show. Just wait for people to get in. Welcome everybody. We are here. Just got some got a highlight up there we don't want. Welcome to the show. That was a bit smoother, wasn't it? Each time, just a little bit smoother. Welcome. This is Finally the Truth, episode 54, I believe. From going back to the original stuff I was looking at earlier. Thought I'd dress up for the occasion today. Don't know why. Just up my game a bit. So just waiting a few seconds for people to get in. Boom, boom. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Finally the Truth. If you see my eyes going all over, so I've got screens everywhere. I steer this ship on my own. Welcome, welcome. If anyone can do a test on X and go to the my channel on X and type some chat in there to see if it's working in here, just out of curiosity. Boom. Hady gets the first call today, followed by Mick. And then we've nicknamed our admin as the modulator. So if you hear me say, modulator, can you fix this? He's actually an ex-DJ, so he knows a thing or two about wires and connecting things. Right, so we're going to get the show started. So what we do is we show you our topics, yeah? What we're going to be happening over the next couple... I'll get some housekeeping done. First thing to say, obviously, Donald Trump's on his way. He's left for the UK for extensive talks with King Charles. We'll get some more in a minute. And then also I just wanted to say that these the improvements coming for the stream in the next couple of days. I'll be doing some behaviour stuff so that you see it nicer as the viewer. Right, I'm waffling. We'll get on. So what we do is we show what we're going to cover in the show today and other stuff, but this is just sort of the main topics, that not main, but just some that I choose. Obviously, we've already said Trump landing. We predict Bryce Norton, pretty much closest one to London. Actually, Bryce Norton, don't know. Depends where he's got to drive, doesn't it? Depends where he's going. They'll get him as close as they can, that's for sure. There have been calls for conservatives to be killed in America. We'll get to that. Destiny, don't know if you heard of him. Disgusting creature. His words, they say over there you got free speech and that, but you're free to say it over there, but it can come at a price, right? And we'll talk about possible consequences of that. Still can't chat in X. Okay, thank you so much for that. So that's, don't know what that's all about. There's a setting in there which I tried out. Should be able to chat soon, as I understand it. We'll just have to see how that goes. Sorry, Xers. You will have to move over to if you want to chat, you'll have to switch over to another network at this stage. I'm sure it's top of the list. It is. I've seen some stuff about what X are doing about it. Right, so then we'll go on to Starmer's still in. He won't refuse to resign. He's actually come out and tried to say, what was it he said? We'll get to it, but it's time zone. He said, I didn't know about it before I said it. I knew that he knew Epstein, but I just didn't know the severity and the degree with which he knew him and the capacity with which he knew him. They're basically saying that he's happy to destroy his own ranks to stay up there on the thing. He'll sink other people before he steps down. So he's holding fast at this moment in time. But the next barrage of corruption is on its way. I've already seen something earlier. I won't refer to it now because don't know what I'm talking about. Don't want to do that. Another defection. It's a brief. She's actually an ex-Tory. She lost her seat last year, I believe, to Liberal Democrats, and now she's decided that she'll miss her Conservative friends, but she feels that they're not what they used to be. What comes out? I can't say the news in the headline, can I? Right, here we go. And then the bad news was that yesterday that the one in, one out activity that we were hoping for, or anticipating, should we say, didn't happen. And I'll cover that as we go on. Right, so what are we going to do? So we've got lots of chat going on here. Let's have a quick look. Left Destiny is a lefty loony. True that. Yeah, he is. Absolute crank. We'll get to him in a minute, yeah? So that's what we're going to be covering. So without further ado, we'll get into... I've even got my browser sorted out today. For those of you who know how I do it, you'll see now. So what we do is we switch over to here and we get browser-based environment. So that we're able to look-see stuff on the internet, yeah? So I'll be covering each article. So I just want to check we're on the networks here. It looks good to me. Sound is okay, yeah? If it isn't, let me know. Try to improve that a little bit today. I think volume was slightly low yesterday. So hopefully that's back. Okay, so I'll get into the meat and potatoes, as Alex Jones would say. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. It's Tuesday, 16th September. Donald Trump's visiting the UK. Right. Just a quick one was that the FBI have confirmed that they found DNA on the rifle that monster used to shoot Charlie Kirk. So that absolutely hooks him in. If there could have been any doubt, that pretty much sends him to the firing squad. Yeah. Right, so basically, I've got a couple of websites here. Just so what I'll do usually is I'll show you who the website is if you're not going to know who it is. So on this occasion, it's Guido Fawkes, order.com. Just a political commentator, British, London-based, close to the coalfire commentator. Useful, usually gets scoops, and it's good to know if you want to find stuff out fast. So Trump has already said some words. I haven't seen them. We might see them in a minute on the lawn, I presume, before he left. And there's quite a lot of people a bit upset about it. So read those words for yourself. Primarily, he said to be with Prince Charles and Camilla. They're friends of mine for a long time, long before he was king. And it's an honour to have him as king. And you know, he is, I think he represents the country so well. I've watched, he's such an elegant man, and he represents the country so well. You know, some people say like they love Trump, and it's not very often that they disagree with Trump. But on this one, they disagree. And, you know, with this Mandelson sacking and all the shenanigans around that, full-blown meltdown. So Starmer, he says, will be pleased that Trump's diverted, more interested in the pomp and the circumstance than the politics. But is that the case? We shall see, yeah? So there was another link to do with that. So I think I'll get this a bit bigger for you. Getting better at it, right, guys? So the New York Post. So the question they ask is, Britain on the brink of a Trump revolution. So as Trump's arriving, Starmer's crumbling. You can read it there for yourself, guys. I don't want to... I'm not trying to be a teacher. Internally, just so anyone abroad that's watching, welcome from all over the world, guys, wherever you are. See, rumblers are at it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, guys. Come on. do that shit. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, get onto the other networks if you can't chat and you want to chat and you've got something to say. But yeah, what I was going to say was that basically British politics, there's different ways that we topple our leaders, but it's pretty much usually midterm, especially early midterm, that it would be his own people that would chop his head off. So we don't have to get, election. We would want one. Obviously, you'd say, let's have an election. But his own party are turning inwards on him, Yeah. Right. So, yeah, so they were at, he's on his way, and it's looking like he's just going to use it as a cup of tea exercise and slice of cake with the king. Been before, pageantry and all the pomp and all the stuff that comes with that. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think we should see it as some sort of game-changing event. He's hardly going to be able to sit there and persuade King Charles to stand up more, is he? Maybe he will. We don't know. Maybe he can come and invigorate some modernity into the king. I'm going to say one word, right? One word, which I tend to nearly always think every time that man comes into my brain, right? Diana. So, right, we're going to move on to this left wing. I've already got it up there. Left wing lunatic destiny. So his real name is Stephen Bonnell, aka Destiny online. He has calls for conservatives to be killed more often. Quote, you need conservatives, this is an American guy, right? You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events. So what he was implying was ramp up your violence on a conservative so that you fear other conservatives from arranging or attending events like, rallies and stuff. Yeah. And as you'll see in a second, if I've said anything, yeah, I did. There's been a response to that by the American people, as you can imagine. So Gateway Pundit cover it. So there it is for yourself. So you don't doubt it. Just shocking. People, all of his mates were laughing and chuckling about it like they do, yeah. Hate, they talk about hate. Who's got the hate? There it is right there. And then over on X, there was this guy had said, if Obama, Bin Laden had said similar things, we'd take that as a very serious threat. So why does he get to incite the same sort of violence? I actually liked what this person said, Eric Doherty, reporting that Elon Musk calls for this top left-wing streamer Destiny to go to prison for incitement to murder and domestic terrorism on felony charges, and that he can resume streaming when he's served his term. That's the chap on the left, obviously. I always try to think about causes of behaviour, why someone the way they are. Don't know the bloke. But my one observation I have is he has a facial disfigurement, right? He's got a disability in his lips and his nose and I think it's his left eye. It might be an injury or maybe I don't know. That can obviously have an impact on someone's growing up and interactions and their perceptions of themselves and the world. Can shift the needle of traits within if you think of a personality as a sort of graphic equalizer of traits, which is what they are, we can measure them all and we can meddle with them all. We can accelerate or decelerate various traits, through therapy and analysis and self-reflection and all these other things, yeah. And I would suggest that he's spent too long hanging around in the darker traits. It's been diplomatic, as friendly as I can be. But yeah, when he called for the death of people to silence the political speech, it's just what planet are you on? So what I do here, guys, just so you know, is I don't want to play that one. What I do is I print out and I also have a screen version of the show notes in case I have some start losing the plot. So each day the studio gets a little bit better, doesn't it? Tied it up a little bit, sorted the camera out. And I thought, because I got it looking so good today, I'd wear a tie. Change the lighting a little bit. Is it too dark? Is my eyes a bit dark? I think maybe a little bit more light. Anyway. Right, so next subject is going to be, he's probably just a retard. He's actually quite a fast thinker, but just, yeah. Oh, I mean, how many times have I come across his content? 5 times, I expect. And every time I've been seriously unimpressed. Seriously, like, really? Is that all you can bring? God gives you all this power called a mind, and that's all you can think about? Okay, so yeah, so we've already talked about that Starmer won't resign. Yeah, so he's holding fire. He's basically saying that he's not having it. He's not leaving. It'll take something bigger than that to get rid of him, I think. It's just another, you know. Does he ever do anything good? Can anybody put in chat anything? Well, there is one thing here, but it's not him. Funny enough, the next headline is something which is positive, because we shouldn't always have the bad crap, right? But I don't attribute it to Starmer. So we'll move on from that and onto this other headline, which wasn't in the show notes or in the starter slide, and that is that British state pension in April is going up 4.7%, which is actually not a small amount, is it? It's actually welcome news for pensioners and stuff. So, all right, it's a fair way off yet. It's not that far, is it? 8 months, 9 months away. 4.7%. So that's an effort to keep up with the inflation and the cost of living and stuff. So I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see any benefit increase, but when it's usually a small number, you're just like, really? But that's not a small amount, is it? 4.7% in my view. We've already talked about, I'm just going to sort of accelerate a little bit here, guys, because I got no intentions of doing a set time. People say, I'll do an hour, do this. There's only so much I can do in preparation of the show, yeah? Sometimes I will be able to sort of time it out and think, yeah, that's going to be about an hour, or tell you in advance this one's going to be a long show, or this one's going to be a short one. I'm kind of just of the view I'm just going to stream. Some people do 10 minutes, don't they? Yeah, so what we'll just do is go through my show without the pressure of trying to constrain it to a time, or it frees me up to just talk with you instead of following this timer type thing. Yeah, got enough to be thinking about with that. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of back to the Maria Caulfield defecting to Reform, to a former Tory minister. Sorry, you want me to go full screen, won't you? She is I believe the 15th member to join Reform directly or indirectly from the Conservative Party. 15. If ever you wanted indicators that the old guard are trying to sort of cover their bases and be in both clubs, so that they've still got someone in. Yeah, that's how it goes. Just I find that stunning. How can you call yourself Reform? It's just been reshape. That's what they should call themselves. Reshape or reshuffle. I did a meme, didn't I, of the politicians playing musical chairs. That's all they do. All that uniparty. So basically extending the uniparty out into the Reform Party so that it will come under their umbrella. So that if they do get in, which I think they will at this moment in time. Just on today's analysis, that's what if there was an election tomorrow, Reform quite probably would win. Right. Okay. So I'm going to move on. There was another. Did I get that? Yep, there it is. So there was another. Bring this up. Attack on. They hit another Venezuelan-based drug trafficking ring. There was another boat that was boomed. So I thought we'd just have a quick look at that. It's pretty mental. If it plays, just a real short, quick clip. I just thought to myself, "God, really wouldn't want to be in that boat." See, all right, here we go. 2, 1. Wait for it. Here it comes. No knowledge. He's standing on the side of the boat there, like, boom. And then they show 3 different angles that, Jesus. Way to go, right? So military boys are getting their practice in this month, aren't they? Nuts. Yeah, that was crazy. So the cartels must be thinking, right, we're going to probably have to come up with another way, yeah? This isn't working. So what are they going to do then? They're just going to go back. How are they going to do it? Start trying to fly it in and smuggle it in. Yeah. Mental. Right, where are we up to? Done the drug cartel thing. Oh, right, so this was, let's go back to this. Let's get to her first. This woman's called Aya. I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I don't know. Aya. And she posted this. She was at the event on Saturday. I mean, could she have worn anything more Union Jacky? She's got an Adidas top that's got red, white, and blue on it. Union Jack sweatshirt. Union Jack head scarf and a flag. And something around her neck, not sure. But it looks like she's really up for it, yeah? Like patriotism oozing it. And then she writes this. Said geezer on the right hand side. So just so you know a little bit how Twitter works for those of you that submarines. They did try the submarine route, didn't they? With the drug trafficking. I've seen footage of them using these sort of low level things, but they were always dying. Didn't work very well. Just so you know how Twitter works when I'm using this for you guys, ladies and gents. On the right hand side, if there's somebody that's in the body of what we're looking at in the middle, you'll usually see their Twitter handle on the right hand side there. They'll reference the person that's being referenced. Now, isn't it funny that if you look at her tweet, right? This is observer. I'm a coder as well. I like writing code. So do other people I know. And isn't it interesting? Take a look at that she actually doesn't reference the Mayor of London, correct? She just calls somebody in London a prick called Khan. Yeah. So how come over on the right-hand side that Twitter thinks a relevant person to recommend as a person from London that's a prick called Khan is probably the Mayor of London? I don't know, just throwing that out there. Like, is there no other Khans in London that Twitter could find that might be a prick? No? Put your comments down below there. Do you think that was back? I would suggest that's really good coding on Twitter's half, wouldn't you? On X's part, wouldn't you? Yeah. Knocked it out of the park there, yeah. Excellent stuff. Right, so so we've got. Just wanted to demonstrate the far right extremes. You know, look at all the people that are hating her, and I think further into the article I read, she was basically saying that she had a day of her life and felt, had a fabulous day. Do you know what I mean? Right. So Mayor of London has come out with a response to the event, as he has to do his dividing, right? His division. Let's just get down to this. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the same thing, so I'll cover it there. So we'll read this out here. So it's from the Mayor of London. I know many people, particularly in London's diverse communities, are feeling extremely worried following the events this weekend. It takes me back to how I felt growing up in the 70s and the 80s, when far-right political parties marched on our streets. The leaders of the far right are once again attempting to hijack our flag, with minorities being intimidated and fear, hatred, and division being sown. As Londoners and as proud Brits, we must unite to reject the far right, just as we have many times before. So, you know my phrase, I coined it last week, it's mine. I haven't seen it anywhere else, I made it up. It's not left v right, it's wrong v right. Clip that, send that. It's not left v right, it's wrong v right. Yeah? And this is it right there. That's the wrong, and we are all right. Yeah? It's us v the establishment and the entrenched uniparty globalist tyrants, not left v right. I don't think there would have been a single person. Yeah, don't use that word. That's not a good word to use on here, man. I think, what was I saying? There wouldn't have been hardly, if any, I don't know, if anyone that would have been at that event who would have been thinking seriously horrible things about people based on the colour of their skin or their nationality. It's not how they're playing on human stuff. Yeah, you're right, mate. You know, I'm surprised Rumble let that through, but this Rumble in it, they're so tolerant. Fair play, Rumble. I blame Rumble for that. And I blame myself, so I should have put that word into the block list, shouldn't I? Yeah, but I mean, obviously, in Black Belt Barrister, they're all saying thank you, Aya. She's going viral. Everyone's saying thank you for showing the reality that it's not far right, extreme racism, hatred. So while we're on that, because I didn't actually cover it, this guy here, right, Daniel Shensmith, Black Belt Barrister, highly recommend you watch him on YouTube. He's got a couple of other personal channels because he's a martial arts guy as well and stuff. But what he says, I'm going to shorten this awareness here. He's basically saying that it's got nothing to do with racism or genders or sexuality, all these other hate things that are trying to, chain us down with. They want us so confused, so muddled about and spending so long filtering our thoughts that it's another way to chop your tongue off. You end up tongue-tied because you're just constantly holding back, yeah? Oldest trick in the book, distraction, and that mental distraction. But anyway, Black Belt Barrister basically says that everyone needs to understand that the motivation for him to be pro-deportation, mass deportation, is on the basis of not race or hatred or anything of those nature, simply on cost, risk, and sustainability. So if you watch Black Belt Barrister, he does a legal analysis of why he would stand behind a request to the government that the only logical thing to do is mass deportations of illegal migrants, starting with all the ones that have committed offences and are misbehaving in our society. There's been further calls to take it offshore in the last couple of days. Why do we have to have it onshore? We've got territory, we've got islands and properties and premises far away from our community that we don't need to take that risk. So that's what Black Belt Barrister is saying. We don't need to have this risk. The risk assessment has not been done. And I should imagine that the Epping trial in next month to do with the council's application to shut the facility down operating in that way will be done on that basis. I'm pretty sure that there should be a clever, a smart enough legal person to make a good health and safety argument that a risk assessment, a correct, dependable risk assessment had not been done. Yeah, that's part of the authority giving you permission to use the building in a certain way. So when you ask for a pub license or a nightclub license or, bakery license, or whatever license you're applying for to run the building other than a domestic home, you got to get a license for it. You got to get somebody who knows their stuff to do some sort of analysis of that category of building and understand what the implications are for its impact on the community around it. Yeah? Is it going to be beneficial? Is it going to bring traffic? Is it going to bring unwanted people, noise, all sorts of things? Yeah. So it should be, they can argue that a risk assessment wasn't done. Then you've got the cost. I'll talk about that real quick. I think if I'm right, again, these numbers is just stuff I see. I'm not always right. I'm not sitting here going, I'm always going to be right. All I can do is tell you the stuff I see, right? I think it might have been Black Belt Barrister. So usually you can sort of take your trust levels up high with him. He reported, I'm sure, that it was 5 million that was originally budgeted, 5 billion, sorry, that was originally budgeted for the illegal migration, housing the migrants for up to 10 years, right? Or up to, was it up to 2030, something of that nature, right? But they've already done 15 billion. Yeah, so this is where we're going. So that's the cost and that's the risk. And then sustainability speaks for itself. Like going forwards, they just keep coming. So it just gets a larger cost to us. It's not shrinking one, as we saw by the fact, which was another story of mine, which we touched on, which is none of them migrants were put on a plane yesterday. Remember the one in, one out? Someone will tell me in chat when he said that, look it up, someone, Starmer, whoever it was, fended off the barrage of attacks, in the wake of, this is all supposedly, we're doing research and find a solution off the back of Southport and all that, yeah? One of the solutions was, right, one in, one out with France. I don't know who the one in is. Who's the one in? Does anybody know who the one in is going to be with France? That freaks me out. I don't get that. Who's the one in? Anyway, the one in, one out didn't happen. It was supposed to happen yesterday with the first 50 being put on a plane and taken to France. But it didn't happen. It didn't even get, they didn't even get put on a plane. Legal people got involved, stopped it. There were fake headlines going around. I'm going to call it fake because they were clickbaiting. By tweaking the reality, there were certain channels saying, plane left empty. Plane flies to France empty. Well, it obviously didn't. It didn't fly there. I think it's The Guardian or something tried to say that. Don't quote me on that though. But yeah, the plane left empty with no migrants on it. It didn't even go because they stopped the flight because someone pulled the plug on it. And so that's another failed policy. Yeah. Being overshadowed by the Trump visit, I understand. But on another day, he'd have been he might have. I've not seen it. Has anyone seen it? Has he been ripped to shreds in the house today at all? Because he should have been. What a farce that is. What's this? Second one in, one out deportation flight takes off. Was it the second one? With 0 migrants on board in latest humiliation for Starmer. Yeah, I think you're right. It might be the second one, isn't it? Because there was the one that was going to go. Yeah, I mean, the first one was under a different rate. It wasn't the one in wasn't that to Rwanda or whatever it was, and that one never happened. Might be wrong now. But yeah, that's powerful. That's just crazy. So that's where we're at. So they can come, and there's no consequence. They can just keep on coming, and then obviously the sustainability is then you can't calculate because how many do you know are coming? Yeah, the first was yesterday. Oh, did the second one supposed to go today? Yeah. Oh, wow. This is just it. But I want to know who's coming. One in, one in. Who's the one in? I don't get it. Or are they on about for every one that comes in, they'll take one out? That's what it must be. So are they saying then that we can look at it and say, oh, look, 900 came in on Saturday, so on Monday we'll see 900 go out? That's what they're promising. So at the minute, if we were playing a game here, they're cheating, right? They're not doing it by the way that they know they're meant to be doing it. Right, anyway, I'll go on about it. That's that one. We've done the Sadiq Khan's dividing us crap again. Right, so this was cool. Is this done the migrant Deportation's out. Don't need to read it. I've verbalised it instead. Done that one. Oh, right. So Andrew Bridgen was at the event on Saturday. And because they pulled it short, had to. Apparently, by all accounts, the police were at the back threatening to start arresting if they didn't start shutting it down like immediately. He did run like, what was he, 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late, something like that. But he wasn't all pally around the back by all accounts. It was like, get it off. Your license is expired sort of thing. So he didn't get to go online on the show. And what he's done is he's put a tweet out. Again, you can see his handle on the right-hand side if you want to start following him. You'll have to get another device, guys, so you can start getting dialed in to people that you want to get networked with. But yeah, let's play this video. This is, he says basically a brief synopsis of the speech that he wanted to give at the Unite the Freedom rally on Saturday.
This is part of the speech I was going to give on Saturday at the Freedom of Speech Festival. That freedom of speech is the most important freedom, because there is no freedom at all without freedom of speech. And to have freedom of speech, you need freedom of thought. And to have freedom of thought, you need freedom of information. So we must push back against any censorship and restrictions. A true leader lays out a shared vision of the future and asks the people to come with him or her and make that vision a reality. A false leader makes promises which they know they can't keep. They cannot lead the people because the people will not follow them. So therefore they have to try and control the people instead. What sort of leaders do you think we have in our country at the moment? These false leaders need to get us into a war, a big war, a war to cover up the lies they've told to you, the money they've stolen from you, and the crimes they've committed against you. We must resist the pull to a war, which will bury the poor and make the rich even more wealthy. And if we get involved in the control measures of digital ID, if we say yes to digital ID, I fear we'll never be able to say no to the government ever again. Stay strong, stay united, stand together. And the darker it gets, remember, the nearer we are to the end. Thank you very much for listening to me.
That's powerful, right? Knows his stuff. Love him. Great guy. There could be a prime minister. I think he'd be stabilising character, bring sanity, bring back all the things we yearn to have back into our leadership. He looks quite tired. Looks like he's the fight's been getting hard for him. Right, so I'm going to go back a story actually because I missed it because it's Tommy Robinson posted it. Was it? I got it. Just find it. Go to my notes. Give me a second here, guys. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Okay, so again, another little short video to play here.
You said, let me remind you.
So this is to remind us what Keir Starmer has said. Yeah. That chat did come up there. Look, I see it there if that's what you sent before. Mr. Modulator. Can you see that on the right hand side? Okay, so this is just to remind us of Keir Starmer, his divisiveness, and one of the tactics is to convey what you're doing onto the other person. There's a word for it. I can't think what it is, and that's what they do: gaslight you while they're doing what they're claiming you do to them.
If you don't like
Keir Starmer, I don't think you remember what you said. Let me remind you.
If you don't like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave.
That's what you told the people of England. Your own people. The very men and women who built this land, who fought for its freedom, who carried its weight on their backs. You spoke like a ruler, not a servant. Like this nation was yours to give away and not ours to defend. But September 13th proved you wrong. We will not take your door. We will not walk away. We are not guests in our homeland. We are its heartbeat. You may sit in office, but the soul of this nation will never belong to you. It belongs to its people. And we will stand. We will march and we will rise together. United we stand. United we fight for our future. This is only the beginning.
Like that. Did you like that? You need some motivation. There's people out there with passion who care. Well, that was great. Show you that one. Okay, so I'm down near the end here. Okay, so we got a so we got a Fafo moment. You know what Fafo is? Fuck around. Find out. I'm gonna have to do an animation of Fafo time. Right, so we've got a Fafo time here, guys, in the tweet in the middle there. Let me just try and scale this. Oh, can I do this so we get it actually? It's full size now. Just check that just by nudging it. Yeah. Twitter's got a lot of persistent headers, as we call them. Can I full screen it? Yes, I could. I don't know that I need to. Yeah, we'll do it anyway. Right, so it's only 30 seconds long. What not to do? I know. I'll leave you to make your own observation. Fafo. Fuck around. Find out.
What would you do if you were caught in the middle of a robbery? That's what this man faced when he was at a gas station and two masked men entered. He had a split second to react when he saw one of them reaching for a gun. He acted fast and grabbed the weapon, turning the tables on the robbers. He wrestled the gunman to the ground and held him in a chokehold, while the other robber ran away. He checked the gun and realized it was jammed, so he fixed it. He waited for the police to arrive while the robber begged for mercy. This is the incredible story of how this man foiled a robbery and became a hero.
Let's go, Brandon.
What would you do?
This is his t-shirt. There's got to be a gun owner, right? We'll watch it again. Before we do, when he says he got him round the neck and got him in a chokehold, I actually thought I saw him with the gun at his head. Let's just have a look. Did he have the gun there? Has he got anything in his right hand? What's he got in his right hand there? Is that the gun? It is, isn't it? So he's got him in a chokehold and his own gun to his head. Look at that guy's face, the robber. He's like, that's not how it's meant to go down. This isn't how it was meant to be. His mate's run out. He's like, I'm out of here. Fuck that. I'll see ya. So he's off to do some prison time. Whoa. That was brilliant, though. The way he reacted. Yeah, I agree. Ex-military. I believe quite probably. Other ex-military definitely. Yeah, he's got to be in it. Wait, because he only has a split second, right? So from the beginning.
You were caught in the middle of a robbery. That's what this man faced when he was at a gas station and two masked men entered. He had a split second to react when he saw one of them reaching for a gun. He acted fast and grabbed the weapon, turning the tables on the robbers.
Yeah, I think he did a proper maneuver there, didn't he? With his left hand, sort of went straight for the gun, swiped that out of angle so it's no longer pointing at him and a threat, and then came in with the right side of his body. That was very professionally done. Oh dear, Fafo, Fafo. It's my new phrase, Fafo. Not mine, but I like that. So when we can, we'll have FAFOs, right? If you can find FAFOs during the day, send them to me in WhatsApp group or in the X community. Just send it to me across the network, and it's funny enough and not too illegal or too dangerous or too graphic. We'll show it. Right, so I think we're needing enough there, guys. So I will, at some point, again, telling you about the future. As I settle down and I get into my routine again, at the moment, top of my mind, I want to cover is, was it that story? So it's already old, that story, is it? Okay. It probably is, isn't it? It was only posted on the 15th, but yeah, it's probably an old video or something. Had 5.6 million views. Yeah, what I was going to say was I'm concerned about the illegal migrants in the hotels, and I'm eager to cover the people that attend, the other streamers and stuff. So what we'll start doing at some point later this week or whenever's right is towards the end of each show, we'll have a quick look at one or two streamers, see if there's anybody we want to watch, and we can help. Then we're sharing the awareness of the attendance and the degree of the concerns in these communities, yeah, because you can always tell that by the frequency and the numbers of people that are turning up at these demonstrations and that, yeah. If I know the police, they'll just want to keep trying to find a way to get around it and still make it come out the way they want it, you know. There are solutions. We've talked about them before. Dartmoor Prison, you could put 800-900 people in there straight away. I know there's still a lot more than, but you know, it'd be a good start, wouldn't it? Maybe even more. And then that's just the one that we know off the top of our heads of a vacant building. And then someone said over the weekend, offshore, just take them off to one of our territories, stick them in old outposts somewhere. The risk doesn't need to be on our laps, in our communities, next door to us. They're doing that on purpose. And that's what's making people angry, is the risk and the preparedness by our leaders to place us all in that risk completely unnecessarily. Not like you don't have any choice. They're managing the people when they arrive. They're making those decisions. So I should imagine in the future, the people that have been making those decisions are the ones that are going to face the consequences. Yeah, the liability is going to be found to fall on them of the risk. Yeah. All right, guys, I think that's done it. 15 minutes early today. Not too bad. I'm still doing a lot of technical stuff back here. I know you guys just see the show and you go, "Where a show?" It's actually an awful lot that goes into putting the show together, yeah. And being a bit not perfectionist, but I want to give this my best crack. So every day I'm just doing stuff on the computers and the software, just tweaking it, getting it a little bit better. I am thinking about having a day off tomorrow to do more on this, because I've got to spend about 4 or 5 hours in this software doing some calibration stuff. It's all for your benefit. What you'll see on the next version is everything will be a lot smoother visually and stuff. Don't need to have it all jumping around all over the place, which it's doing at the minute a bit. Like this is ugly, isn't it? See this? It's jumpy. And the way I'm going to be doing it next is it's all smooth and everything's fluidly moving around the screen. So possibly won't be here tomorrow. What you'll need to look for is the notification earlier in the day. If I put up an event, you know I'm going live. If no event goes up after lunch tomorrow, English time, then I'm not going to be on that show that day. Thank you for everybody. I see you've got Rumblers here, YouTubers, Xers. Fantastic. It's good to see you all. Share, like, get it out. Yeah, make sure you follow. Get the notifications turned on. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a nice evening. And tomorrow we get to see Donald Trump. How's that going to go down then? Does Trump bow to King Charles? And as some Americans say, is that not king meeting king? Interesting. All right, guys. Lovely to see you all. And I will see you all in the next one.